Hi guys, it's Katelyn Lesk, and I have a very personal topic to talk about today, but it's one that is also very meaningful to me, and I hope in sharing my personal story and details that you guys are able to get something out of it that helps you in your own life. So, first of all, over the past year or two, I've been really trying to date a lot. Definitely one of the weak points in my belief system is that I always worry that I'm not going to find the right person. And so in terms of when it comes to career or finances, I've always had total confidence that everything's going to work out. But when it comes to my fear voice, relationships is my big tough one that I always have to work on quieting my fear voice with. So I've been trying to date a lot more, and one of the things that I've realized in this process is that my biggest desire in a relationship is truly that feeling of connection. I don't need the financial security. I don't need that sense of comfort. To me, I just love that feeling of connection. And so that has a huge value to me in terms of what it adds to my life and that additional companionship, additional source of happiness. But I've also found that in focusing on connection, that is something that's just become a huge theme in my life in general, is that desire for connection and to feel connected. And when I say that, I mean connected to other people, connected to myself, connected to a higher power, connected to all the people on the planet, just that sense of being in the flow and feeling connected. So in terms of my dating, I've actually gotten less specific on the qualities I'm looking for. And I'm definitely grateful that some of the qualities I looked for in the past, that those relationships didn't work out, because my perspectives have changed a lot, and I've grown a lot in how I view relationships. And what I really look for now, the main thing, while I do believe that our values and goals have to align, the main thing I look for is I go inside and really connect to my heart space and feel if that feels like a good energy. Does it feel like home? Does it feel connected? All those different things. And so it's become very easy for me to pick out when a relationship maybe looks good on paper, but those feelings just aren't there. Or when I'm trying to force something, or when maybe a relationship feels really passionate but isn't necessarily something that's good for me or doesn't necessarily feel connected. So while I'm grateful for all the people I've met, and I value the time I've spent with any person I've ever encountered in my life, but I really have gotten a lot more clear to myself about what I'm looking for and how I'm looking to feel in a relationship. But the amazing part is I've noticed that over the last year especially, and maybe just because I'm paying more attention to it, I have been able to cultivate more and more experiences where I truly feel connected. So even just over the past couple months, I went to a Hay House conference in November, and all the people there were incredible. And that was an experience where it was a smaller conference because it was their Speak Right and Promote conference. And we ate meals together, and we talked during all the breaks, and I really got to connect with a lot of people there in really meaningful ways. And that was so valuable to me. And then a month later, we went for our Beachbody coach retreat down in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, with about 50 of the coaches on our team. And everybody there came with such open hearts and open souls, and just willing to share their struggles, help each other, encourage each other, and really just be very real and open and honest, which I love, and I need that kind of environment. And that kind of authenticity to me is so important. So that was a weekend. I think it was 3 or 4 days that just made me feel so incredible and so alive and so connected. And I didn't at one point during that weekend think about my desire to have a relationship, which I sometimes tend to get controlling or forceful about. Or I put a lot of pressure on myself to try to figure it out or find the perfect person and that sort of thing. So, but then it doesn't have to be big experiences like that either. I found a ton of connection recently in a candlelight winter solstice yoga class that I went to with my friend Chelsea. And I find a ton of connection with my regular conversations with my friend Nikki, who were always kind of challenging each other to expand and talking about our beliefs and our spirituality and that sort of thing. And I met some really amazing people at a dance class I started going to in November and December that was just amazing, and it was fun and it was lighthearted and we would joke around, and that was another experience where I just felt really connected. But the other thing, in addition to it not having to be big, it also doesn't have to be with other people, because I feel I used to be so extroverted that if I wasn't around people I would get anxious. I always needed to have something to do. But now I really appreciate my time to myself, where I can read and journal and listen to some of the authors I follow on YouTube and all those different things. Even just listening to music and dancing around my bedroom makes me feel incredibly connected and alive. And even though you'll probably never hear me sing in front of anyone, that's the only thing I'm really shy about. Probably because I feel like I'm not a good singer. I feel really connected when I'm singing, like belting out songs in my car by myself, which is really the only place I'll sing when I'm on the highway, and there's no chance of anyone else hearing me. So things like that I've just really started to appreciate in terms of calling these experiences into my life. Even just last week, I met up with a girl that I haven't seen for 7 or 8 years. She was one of my friend's roommates in college, and I haven't really seen her, talk to her since then. And we had this amazing conversation. She's into holistic nutrition and just all these integrative health practices, and we had the most incredible conversation, and it just instantly felt that connection and that feeling of familiarity, like I had known her forever. And really, we hadn't actually even hung out all that much, even when I did know her originally. So things like that to me are amazing. I found this Love Life shirt online recently. I have a little bracelet that I love and wear all the time that, even things like that, I know that sounds silly, but even having this shirt on, that's why I wore it for this video, and my bracelet makes me feel very connected. And I appreciate cooking so much more than I did. And to me, it becomes somewhat of a meditative practice to make healthy food and to put a lot of loving energy into that food. So anyways, those are some examples of how I've been feeling really connected. And the amazing part is, I feel like I'm at a point in my life where all of my needs are being met. So I'm still single, but I desire a relationship. But right now I'm at a point where I feel so self-assured, so confident. I can provide for myself in terms of financials, in terms of security, but I also really enjoy my own company, and I love the Beachbody coaching. That is something that always makes me feel so connected. And I've created all these experiences that really provide the happiness and the source of joy and that feeling of inspiration and excitement, but of connection and authenticity and things that are really meaningful to me. And it's just made my life incredible. And so it's amazing to feel like I'm at a point in my life where all of my needs are being met, but I'm not relying on any external sources to meet them. I really have found ways to cultivate them in my own life, no matter what, even if I'm not with other people. So those are some things to think about. I'm working on improving this even more and focusing on this even more. So I highly recommend looking into whatever you desire in your life and just noticing ways that you already may be cultivating that and noticing other ways you can start to draw that in. And I think the more you focus on the feeling you really want, the more you will continue to draw in. And after all, the feeling is kind of the goal and kind of the end reward, because even in terms of relationships, I know there are some relationships where you might be with another person but feel very alone. So in focusing on the feeling that is desired, that is where I think your life is going to change. And that is how my life has changed so far, even in the past year, even in the past couple months. So I hope these tips are beneficial to you, and let me know below how you are cultivating any kinds of these desired feelings and what's meaningful to you in your life. So I hope that story helps. I'll talk to you guys soon.